US is the greatest psyop of all time. A country that doesn't function like a country, it functions like a corporation, a reality show, and a social experiment all at once. The American dream was never real, but they needed you to believe it was. The US runs on a single, powerful myth. If you work hard enough, you can achieve anything. But the system was never designed to let everyone win. The wealth gap is wider than ever. Wages haven't kept up in decades, and upward mobility is statistically rare. The people who actually run things, corporations, billionaires, lobbyists, don't play by the same rules as the rest of us. So why do people still believe in the American dream? Because the illusion is necessary to keep the machine running.
Yeah.
If people woke up en masse to the reality that the system is rigged, it would collapse overnight. The two-party system is a manufactured illusion of choice. The US claims to be a democracy, but in reality, it's one of the most effective psychological control systems in the world. You're given two options, Republican versus Democrat, so it feels like you have a choice. But in reality, both serve the same corporate overlords. The political division is not accidental. Keeping people arguing about surface-level issues means they don't unite against the real power structures: corporations, banks, military-industrial complex. Every election cycle, the public is convinced their vote will change everything. But notice how nothing ever fundamentally changes.
No.
The real goal of the US political system: manufacture consent, keep people distracted, ensure no real power shifts occur. The US economy is just vibes and debt. America's economy isn't built on production or actual wealth creation. It's built on debt, speculation, and psychological manipulation. The dollar is backed by nothing but belief. The stock market isn't real. It's a glorified casino controlled by the ultra-wealthy. The US doesn't actually have money, it prints it. Trillions of dollars have been magically created out of nowhere, but somehow the average person is still struggling to afford rent. The real scam? You're told to budget your Starbucks purchases, while billionaires literally manipulate the entire economy in real time. The education system is not about learning, it's about conditioning. The American school system wasn't designed to create critical thinkers. It was designed to create obedient workers. You're taught what to think, not how to think. You learn memorization, compliance, and submission to authority, not real-world skills like financial literacy, emotional intelligence, or independent thought. College is marketed as a necessity, but in reality, it's just a high-interest debt trap that locks you into the system before you even start your career. The truth? The system doesn't want you to be free. It wants you to be useful. The US military-industrial complex controls everything. America doesn't just have a military. It is a military. The US spends more on war than the next 10 countries combined. Every major geopolitical event isn't about freedom or democracy. It's about resources, control, and profit. The country is in a perpetual state of war because war drives the economy, justifies surveillance, and keeps the population in fear. The scariest part? Most Americans don't even realize they live in an empire. The US frames itself as the world's protector, while actively destabilizing countries for economic and political gain. Final verdict? The US is not a country, it's a corporation. It sells you the idea of freedom while keeping you in economic, psychological, and social chains. The illusion of choice keeps you docile. The illusion of freedom keeps you loyal. The illusion of progress keeps you hopeful. And as long as the psyop is effective, the system will never change.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto the Zai foreigners, for the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Let me a long one and be a quick one. The captain obvious in the room is everything that we've been saying through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's come to fruition. And we're going to keep on saying it because we are the prophets of the Lord. All right. And AI, artificial intelligence, broke down every single thing that is wrong with the society and made it be known how this society is not what people think it is. It never been. Okay. Then there's a lot of tension out there of finances that everybody may have and may not have, and trying to get by however they could get by. And they'll do, people just tired. Well, we've been tired, and when I mean we, talking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, those of us that know. This is why everybody was always complaining about, and now the world's starting to see. Like, this society is not even close to for what it claims to be. And like that AI said, this is an actual empire. That people don't even know that they're in the actual empire. Do you know? I'm not gonna get the scripture, but when somebody conquers, a nation conquers another nation, the ancient world, the spoils go to the people. So if that's the case, they done conquered every fucking thing. What spoils does the people even have? You got homelessness at an all-time high. You got crime at an all-time high. People still crying for injustice and not getting treated well at all. In an unjust land. It's all about the rich and those that are on the come up. Because you have certain particular family members of particular prominent families, they're collecting, all right? And they're collecting off of the backs of the average person. Here's a scripture that says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Yeah. And the shame, which is, wow, how ironic it is. Donald J. Trump is trying to erase history to make it seem that America wasn't that bad after all. Can you imagine? All right. They're trying to make it seem like it wasn't that bad. They're trying to rewrite history. They're trying to rewrite the wrongs that they committed. So what is a shameful thing for empire? Let's think about it. Well, somebody could say all the kingdoms has had slavery of some sort. That is correct. But the difference is, at least they'll let you know. Over here, they have everybody fooled. They'll have you believe that it was just cosmic things that just happened, and all of a sudden they just got to a greater case and say, you know what? Maybe that is a bad thing. Let's not do that again, which is all bullshit. So all that shit from slavery, for the genocide of Gad Reuben, all right, talking about millions of Native Americans. They said like over 100 million that have been wiped out in the Americas. So you do the math, that's a fucking genocide. Over 100 million, broke every treaty that they ever did, brung people from another country, other countries, put them in cargo slave ships, separated them from their loved ones. Okay, sell them, rape the women, use the babies as bait, or waited for the men to go hunting, leaving the women and children, and they go slaughter them, killing off the natural inhabitants, food resources, not for food, just for spite, so they could starve them out. And the list goes on and on, taking people from one state to more like what, 4 or 5 other states, walking in the dead of winter. But yeah, you want to sound like you're humane, like you're the greatest country in the world, and he's aiming to make it seem that America's not that bad. And what he's trying to say, this is the greatest, like they all say, this is the greatest country in the world, which is glory. But your roots, your essence is shame, shameful behavior, wicked. It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, which is what? Now everybody sees you for what you are. Everybody sees America for what it is. It's just a goddamn lie. It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and the shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So everything from every invention, every sort of accolade that this land carries of some sort, there's shame behind it. There's all. You had Seneca Park here in New York City, which it later became Seneca Village, sorry, which now became Central Park, which was uh, a place where blacks, what you call blacks and Native Americans dwell in, doing fine by themselves, gone, made a national park out of it. You have actual towns where blacks was congregating, doing well by themselves, got flooded. Flood towns, all right, lakes. The shit goes on and on and on and on. So all this shameful, disgusting behavior is coming back on your ass, and there's nothing you can do. All right. Revelation, I was thinking about this before I even read that. 17:1, it says, and there came one of the seven angels which had seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, the breakdown, which you go down to 15, it tells you the many waters represent the people. All right, all the people. This is a This is a land of mixed multitude of different nations and so forth. To keep the delusion strong, the medicine, the weak ass medicine strong. All right, and let me back that up, because they have to have you believe this is freedom. That's the delusion. Nahum 3:1, it says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. And the prey is whom? The blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The same people they're targeting right now via ICE, via National Guard, different agencies are hunting people down. The same people that have been hunting down for all these fucking decades, all these centuries. And for what? Because they have a continual hatred towards us. It all boils down to the same attributes. Amos 1:11. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom. Who's Edom? Edom is Esau, which the people, the East Edomites of today, or they call themselves Caucasians. They call themselves Jewish. All right, we call them small hatters. They are Edomites. All right, they all Edomites. So what is transgression? Transgression is breaking the law. There's laws in the scriptures. If you hang somebody, you're not supposed to only hang that person till the sun goes down. They hung our people countless times, castrated the body, mutilated the body. Oh, hey, they even ate our people. All right, what do you call it? I keep forgetting how they say it. It's a tongue twister for me. The delectable, I think it's called the delectable Negro or something like that. So they show nothing but pure hatred towards quote unquote blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, what they call it today. It says, if a 4 So no matter, okay, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So whatever it was slated for Esau, Edom, the Lord was never going to turn away their punishment. Never give up, give the expression of the judgments that is set for them. Okay? And it says, because he did pursue his brother, and despite what is said, Esau and us, that the Israelites, we're related. So he did pursue his brother with the sword. All right. And it says, and didn't cast off all pity, and his anger did he tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. So this is not no overnight sensation. This is old beef. All right. This is hatred, ancient world hatred. That's what this is. This is just evidence that we keep seeing, the reminder of how much they hated us. From the poison of the air, from the food that's poison, to the constant destruction of our people. And it says, but I will send fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palace of Basra. So that fire is going to come by the ICBM nuclear missiles. So America, nothing but a delusional. Oh, actually, I was supposed to go back to Nahum. Now we'll jump down to the 4th verse. It says, because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mystery of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. And it's key scriptures that sell nations through those whoredoms. And people not knowing that we in an empire, people not knowing that this is a feudal society, people not knowing, people truly believing in their heart of hearts, they believe that if they work hard, they're going to achieve some golden ticket from poverty to riches overnight. It does not exist. A handful, and you only keep that delusional strong because they'll have these people that's related to these other people. Because the majority of all people are white, are Freemasons, a secret society. Just like the lotto, right? When somebody plays the lotto, it's always the same type of people. It's always the same type of people. So it's something that's kept in secret. This is because that's all that runs in America. It's all secrets. Matter of fact, Proverbs 6:12. It says, a naughty person a wicked man walketh a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers, forwardness is in his heart. He devised mischief continually, he soweth discord. And that's the Freemasons, the illuminated one. All right. Plenty of secret societies to ensure that the poor stay poor and the rich remain rich. And whoever aids them in that process, they get heavily rewarded from even one tax bracket and moved up. Because the delusion has to be strong. The delusion has to be maintained. And it can't be maintained by a certain type of group all the time. They need all sort of players. That's why you have movies like, what's that movie called again? The Good Shepherd. To show you how Matt Damon's character was working for the CIA, and he worked for the CIA openly, but he's a Mason. All right, I think he's supposed to represent the skull and bones. So their idea is to maintain the secrets. Oh, sorry, yeah, to maintain the secrets of the elites. That's why you have for Jake, you have the Boule. The Boule members, Their job is to maintain, to keep blacks in order, so that way they themselves can maintain that lie. So this is all part of a masterful plan to keep a delusional state. It says, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy, meaning without medicine. That we are witnessing the breakage of the society that's ran by witchcraft. All right. So going back to Revelation 17, I started finish at 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, which is abominable spiritual fornication. This is an international conglomerate. This is an international agreement to bring in this new world order. All right. And it says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunken with the wine of a fornication. What is that wine? It's our philosophies. All right. That's why what was it, a couple years ago? What was it? Yeah, it was under Biden. Kamala Harris had went to Uganda because Uganda has some strict rules over the abominable people, and she went over there with 18 million to help with their civil rights in Uganda. Like, we don't want that shit. I think it was more than that. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. That's part of the fornication. When Apostle Tahar I brought that out, which made mad sense. All right, the that's the confusion state. That's the shit that most of the majority of other nations they would deal with it. Matter of fact, they would deal with the other shit, but they won't deal with that madness. A woman's usurping a man? Nah, that's the American mindset. It says Jeremiah 51:6 says, flee out of Babylon. Sorry, flee out of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's. Right? So flee. Flee from what? The philosophy. That's why the AI broke it down. We're not trained to think. We're trained to recite, which is true. You recite what you hear. You can't be a thinker. And everybody is under that category because it's part of the educational system. Everybody became mockingbirds of their teachers. That's why college is the highest degree of foolishness, because you're not thinking for yourself. All you do is reciting or regurgitating what you learn from the college professor. Then you get a degree from that. And all you do is keep the same philosophy, ideology, all that wine, that foolish wine, and you regurgitate it, and you maintain the house that is America. That's all it is. All these people, these top players, all they're doing is maintaining the house that is America, ensuring that America function the way it needs to be functioned. Keep the poor, keep the people uneducated, and them themselves reap little benefits. That's why I got that video from GMS Dedication, and it's like people fleeing Babylon. People are literally fleeing Babylon. It says, be not cut off from our iniquity, which is sin multiplied. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her recompense, which is what? Payback. That's why the shameful spewing is coming back. Is being vomited out. The truth is coming out. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hands, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, Therefore, the nations are mad. So all these other nations are angry. The people that's in America that comes from different nations, they just settle because they assume that they achieved the goal that they wanted, but not knowing that they're being used as well. This is the great gathering of of the nations. All right. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How? How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. So from stimulus packages or all different ideas, there's nothing to save this place. All right. You can't people assume that you go and educate a community and everything's gonna be normal, it's gonna be all right. Nothing it has done or will do is gonna get it from the set destruction that was sent upon it. There's no remedy for that. There's nothing that's gonna stop America from not being wiped out. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment have reached unto heaven. And what's happening, people are there's a mass exodus. Especially with the orange man is ensuring that there's a mass exodus. All right. He's kicking people out. He's kicking people out. He's locking people away. He's kicking people out to different countries. And some people just flat out just leaving. Straight up. That's what that whole video was about. People just flat out leaving. And he's thinking he's doing a good thing. But he's when you kicking people out, you saving their fucking life. Because what's about to come to America? America's about to be wiped out. It's about to be destroyed. Okay? It says, the Lord have brought forth our righteousness, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, of our power. So, what is that righteousness? The Lord give us law, statutes, and commandments, but He woke us up to the truth. So it says, back to Revelation 33, 17 and 3. So He carried me in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sat upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, which is NATO EU. That woman is America, that whore that sit up on the beast. When people sit on top of a beast, if somebody sits on top of a horse, there's a bit, and a little piece of thing is what controls a huge beast, and that's what's happening. America's controlling NATO EU, is funding it. That's why Trump wanted NATO to pick up the bill. All right, because America's all over this, all over it. The military, all sorts of things, and dictate what NATO needs to do. But NATO's is more countries than America, but yet is telling the beast what to do. And guess who's telling America what to do? Small hatters. You know, the small hatters. So it's just some weird shit going on. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple. Purple means royalty, proving that this is empire. All right, this is a kingdom. This is Babylon the Great. This is an actual kingdom. It's not a country. Yeah, it is a corporation, but it's a kingdom. It's ran by um uncrowned kings. All right, it's not the president. The presidents they're not the uncrowned kings. The people that control is the same people that control the majority of this world, which is the bankers, international bankers. It says, and the scarlet color and decked with gold, precious stones, and pearls, and having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination, the LGBT, filthiness of her fornication, the spreading of that madness, right? And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, which is no longer a mystery. And Babylon means confusion, land of confusion. The great mother of harlots, because the offspring, this is the centerpiece of all the wickedness that's sent upon the earth. Democracy is poison. All right, it has poisoned the minds of everybody. People come from rich countries of rich resources and will come here to stay here, and their country is full of the rich resources, and they have to go purchase the same resources they have in their own country. All right, it says, "And the abomination of the earth." So is America's an abominable thing. Even ChatGPT could tell you that. It says, and here's the point, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Who are the saints? The Hebrew Israelites. All right, the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the saints of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. What proves it? Psalms 50 and 5. Psalms 147, 19 on down. That he showed his work unto Jacob. He have not known no other nation. It says, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. Who are the witnesses of Yahushai? From the apostles on down. So, majority, some of us is going to be put to death for the name of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Why? Because this place had to be attractive enough to the good to the eyes to have everybody to leave their home countries to come over here. Might I add, rape and rob all these other countries. So this place is destined to be destroyed. All right. And it says, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? It's like, why you being amazed? Because it was attracted to the eyes. You ever been to a place and like, oh, Times Square? If you go to Times Square, which I hate that place, at night, you think it's fucking daytime. The glitz and the glamour. I see people, actual people, native New Yorkers, attitude and everything, just to get to the location on a train. And as soon as they come out that train and go to Times Square, their whole spirit changes. Because this place is the mystery of witchcraft. Witchcraft is heavy. There's a heavy, heavy demonic spirit in America that tracks people from all likes that wants to dwell there. All right, Times Square is like what they said at the crosswalk of the world. So it says, and I tell thee the mystery of the woman of the beast, and it carried her, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. Which the 7 heads is the Greeks, Romans, Germania Minor Major, France, Spain, and Britain. Which so happens that's where Esau, Edom, their society starts with what? The Greeks. All right. So this is no longer a mystery. Problem solved. And the Lord is going to destroy this place. I'm going to just jump down to his 15. It said, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues. So that's why it's a mixed land of different variations of people. Now Trump is trying to do the opposite, which is working because now people are discouraged to even come. I even my mother said it. She says, never in my life will I ever thought America's gonna be out the way it is. Because everybody was in that delusional state, like this is a good land. No, this is terrible for all. Even once again, even AI determines like, yeah, this is a delusional state. This is death. All right. Let me end it off. Jeremiah 51 and 25 to the point. It says, behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord. So what is a mountain? Mountain in the scriptures means governments, and it can mean an actual mountain. It can mean government body. Top of the summit is Esau Edom's little conglomerate group. So the Lord is against this society, this empire, which destroyeth all the earth. Pollution. Pollution of the actual earth and the pollution of the minds of the people of the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and I will roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. Meaning the Lord is going to send ICBM nuclear missiles, the modern day name of today, with millions upon trillions of heat to just literally destroy a 5 square mile radius of America from coast to coast. That is the destiny of this society. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.